Hi everyone, this is Dan at Indie Audio, and this week we are going to be reviewing and unboxing a piece of new equipment we've purchased. This is the Zoom PodTrak P8. There are a couple other things on the market similar, mainly Rode's Podcaster, I believe is what it's called. They are both wonderful pieces of equipment. Let me do an initial unboxing and then I'll tell you why I chose this one. Now you can get the Zoom Podcaster, PodTrak through Amazon or through Sweetwater, I believe is what it's called. Please correct me in the comments if it's called something else or I mispronounced it. You can find that on Zoom's website directly. So the reason I left it in the box, obviously I've opened the shipping box, is because I was a little annoyed at the way Amazon shipped it. So I opened this up, and this is all that Amazon did. And again, this is not at Zoom. This is just, I think for the price, Amazon probably should have done more than one layer of packaging. That's all they did. The box ripped a little bit when I opened it, so the box wasn't like that. But you can see there's nothing underneath. And that, as you know, for spending $500, I would have liked this to be a little better protected. Now, I haven't opened the Zoom box yet, so it's possible that it's better packaged on the inside. Now, I hope it is. I mean, I would expect that of Zoom. But it just seems to me that for $500 or $600, which is what the Rode one costs, it would be better protected. So you can see right off the bat that it got a little dinged on the sides. And again, that's in shipping. I don't blame Zoom for that. That's Amazon's doing. So could have been done better. That's my critique of that. So why did I buy this? Well, I was looking for portability. That's the big feature for both the Zoom and Rode's equipment. This is my first piece of Zoom equipment, so please tell me if they're all very similar like this, what they're made of, and etc. But I really love that this can basically replace half of my podcasting gear when I need to be portable. If you have a setup that's portable, obviously then it doesn't really matter. Or if you record with just like a digital recorder, then this doesn't matter either. But for me, if I go to a business, a client's location, or even a friend's house, I have to take my laptop, I have to take my mixer, I have to take usually a couple of power adapters, microphones, headphones, lots of cables. So it's, 10, 20 pounds worth of gear in a big bag that I'm hauling around. This can be battery operated. According to Zoom, I believe it's 2.5 hours on 4 AA batteries, which is plenty to do at least one episode, if not 2 or 3, depending on your length. It has an SD card slot, so you can record directly onto the SD card, and thus you don't need your computer with you. And really, so you manage to cut it down to one machine with some headphones and some microphones, and that's all you need, which is just great for me being a professional. So let's take a look inside. Now, the box itself is kind of, it feels a little light compared to other things. I actually have one of my favorite microphones, the Rode Procaster right here. And they feel about the same weight. And so that's kind of funny that, the whole mixer feels the same as a single microphone. And we might even talk about these microphones a little later. I'm a big Rode fan. And as I said earlier, this is my first Zoom product. But I really like the interface, the touch screen you can see on here, the buttons. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now, the one thing I did notice right away is they don't seal their box. I know you can kind of see a little bit of residue, and I don't think it was ever meant to be sealed. But it does bother me. Again, price, you should have your package sealed. And if it is meant to be sealed and someone at Zoom sees this, please tell me, because that means Amazon sent me an open box. So, here we go. So right off the bat, of course, I knew there isn't a whole lot included because I watched a lot of reviews out there before making my decision. You know, if you're going to drop $500, you better know what you're getting. So the only things we actually have, here's the power cable. Let's see here. Pretty small, pretty basic. The very fine pin adapter. I don't know what the wattage is. 0.03 amps. Excuse me, 0.3 amps. Output 5 volt. So it's not a very strong power adapter, but I suppose for the fact that it's, we'll just leave that in the video there. That for the fact that it's meant to be portable, it probably doesn't need a lot of power to run it anyway. Let's see, we've got our instructions and of course like an advertisement warranty card. Let's see. Yeah, there's the only 3 things included: the booklet, the AC adapter, and the mixer itself. Let's see, we've got the quick guide. The guide, let's see, in another language, 2 languages. So that's always nice. And I'm using the AC adapter. Don't use other AC adapters is what they're telling you. I've never actually seen a yellow warning like that. All right, thanks, guys. But yeah, for kind of how much stuff is going on, this isn't, what is this, about a 12-page manual? So, and then the assorted advertising, registration, paperwork, that kind of crap. So, no big deal. Let's set that aside. Ye old cardboard. Okay. Yeah, I would have liked this. I mean, it's not a bad package. It reminds me of a motherboard packaging box. Nice, you know, the linen cloth there, or the whatever that material is called. All right. Well, first impression, it's not terribly heavy, but again, it's meant to be portable. So I think they say this is 3.5 pounds on Amazon's website. Let's slide that over there. Let's see here. How do they at least wrap it in this? All right. There we go. And actually, we'll leave it on this because that'll look nicer. Okay. So first thing I noticed right away touching it, and I did know this in advance because I saw some reviews, is the body's basically all plastic. You can hear that. I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not. I'm trying to take it from the logical standpoint of this is meant to be portable, so you're going to cut weight wherever you can. Again, my worry is durability in a lifetime, especially with this touchscreen. I'm hoping that this touchscreen has a really good life to it. I've heard Zoom products are well made and they last a long time, but I don't know how well they do being taken on the go. So, you know, that's you know, a little bit of something that kind of weighed on me, but I really think this has the potential to solve a lot of things that I need. You know, if you're not on the go, obviously none of this really matters in the sense of you know, worrying about its lifespan and durability. So of course, right off the bat, you can see they have a screen right here, and we'll plug it in a couple minutes and check that out. I already knew this. They basically color-coded everything to match. Some people have said they dislike it. Some people like it. if you're in a hurry, I find it kind of convenient. I don't think it really matters. It wasn't a selling point for me, but it's kind of nice to know, okay, so there's that, there's that, there's that. They all match up, great. Also the color coding down here. Of course, we have 6 inputs. That was one of the big things versus the Rode, I believe, has 4. Now, most standard podcasts and interviews, you're doing just one person, so it doesn't matter. I've done some interviewing bands, and there'll be 3 or 4 members of the band plus me. So, actually 6 is actually really perfect for me. So that was one of the other big draws for me. The sound pad's really nice. Button-wise, they feel very good. The great thing is there's 9 on here, but I know, again, from the reviews that there's actually a touchscreen that will let you have 4 categories of 9. So there's actually 36 sound pad buttons, which is pretty excessive, but if you're mixing something, it's kind of handy to have these clips, have them ready to go, have them saved, whatever. So it lets you be prepared for a lot of situations. I see a giant red record and play buttons. I assume that that's if you're running everything from the machine, you can do it. Because obviously if you're using some kind of software in your computer, you're probably don't need to hit those buttons. It'll probably just go straight out. Sorry, I'm turning this so I can look at it. We've got a USB out and volume control. I don't know if these are master controls. Or what they are. We have a mark button. I don't know if that flags a specific piece. Like, 1 minute, 48 seconds, you can add a flag and know something's up. And then when you go and edit, you can review that section or what. Let's take a look at the back. So pretty basic. There's your power in, on, off. It has a USB-C out to USB. I knew that in advance, and I just picked up a standard Amazon basic 6-foot cable. It doesn't come with one, so you do need to have one. I'm just picking up a basic one. I might pick up a higher end one later if transfer rate matters. I don't know. And then here is our SDXC card slot with just a little hatch. That's great. I picked up a couple of cheap SanDisk SD cards, 16 gigabyte, just so I had some testing material. I don't know what the lock thing. I see that on everything and I never use it. Straight up battery compartment on the bottom. And we know it doesn't come with any batteries. You should be aware of that. It's 4AA. I will most likely, if you're going to be using this on the go a lot, you're going to want to get some rechargeables. That's what I'll do. There's no interfaces on the sides. They are both blank. So, that's the basic PodTrak P8. My first impression is, now that I'm handling it, it looked a little cheap at first with the plastic, but now feeling it, it feels heavier than I thought. It's got a little bit of weight to it. I mean, again, it's meant to be light, and I'm approaching this from a technical standpoint in that, in the last 20 years, for example, if you're familiar with computers, how hard drives have evolved. We went from big old standard desktop hard drives, and we're now down to, in your motherboard, plugging in a chip. So I'm hoping that the components inside this are like that, where, probably a mixer from 20, 30 years ago. And I have one. I have a 24-channel Mackie. I forget the model number off the top of my head. But that thing weighs like 45 pounds. And I assume part of that's due to the circuitry and the diodes and everything are just massive inside it. I've never peeked, but that's the capacitors, excuse me. And every component inside is probably a lot bigger, whereas here we're probably dealing with a lot more flat circuit boards and such that don't need as extensive support. And hopefully that also means that it doesn't break as easy. Obviously, one of the big things that always breaks on mixers, these sliders will pop off. And there's not much you can do about that. I mean, especially if you're on the go a lot, there's a chance that these will pop off. I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Same with knobs. I mean, that's just the way it is on all mixers. We all know that. But so I'm gonna pause the video here, plug this in, and turn it on. See what happens. And we'll see what the interface looks like booting it up together for the first time.